Looking for a vibrant community where faith meets empowerment? Welcome to the LRL community on Patreon. Here, you'll gain access to our financial wellness plan to level up your money game and the Build Your Immune System Health and Wellness Lifestyle Plan to keep your health in check. But that's not all. With the groundbreaking AIR project, we're creating jobs in Africa, beginning in Ghana. Plus, you'll unlock insider tips from senior executives across industries. And the best part? Be a part of our daily prayers, weekly coaching sessions with Dr. Larry Reid himself, Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Breakdown Q&A Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Patreon, and so much more. It's time to connect, grow, and thrive. Get the apps, grab the merch, and join us on patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let's build something amazing together. The LRL community is waiting for you. Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of MBN Global, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangster Trap Queens, streaming online at BET.plus. Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid, an examination of the Larry Reid Live Show perspective. Available now on Amazon and Kindle. Inside, he shares his unfiltered perspectives on the issues the church often avoids: the role of women, deconstruction, fatherlessness, homosexuality, decolonization, and the clash between Western and African Christianity, and so much more. Get your copy today on Amazon and Kindle. Stay connected to Larry Reid Live. Take a moment and like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube page and hit the bell. Text LRL to 888-982-3820. That's the letters LRL to 888-982-3820 and get notified when we go live. Become a member of Patreon. Log on to patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Sign up, download the Patreon app, and turn on your notifications. Get connected today.
This season on Love and Faith Atlanta.
Bishop is interviewing some more pastors.
No. I have these churches and I'm looking for cities.
Have you vetted them already? None of them been in jail?
No, none of them been in jail.
So that's not a disqualifier.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead and lean back and reel your head back real good and say, I will possess the land.
But I'm trying to figure out why Larry here.
Well, what you mean?
My reservations with you.
What are your reservations?
Maybe I should eat a few of my lamb chops first.
What made you want to do the Doughboy Pizza Company?
Honestly, I wanted to do something for my sons. My wife and I thought, why not jump into pizza?
We need somebody who's gonna take you and then take you higher. Money is good. Money can do a lot of things.
And also your happiness is good too.
I mean, you married for love already.
I'm just realizing that you and Kirk Franklin are the same height. Psalms 133 says, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren
to dwell together in unity.
In unity. Unity.
Love and Faith Atlanta Season 2, premiering February 25th, only on Merge TV and YouTube.
We're about to have a conversation.
This is how can I say? This is one of those times where I gotta be careful being on camera while feeling like this because y'all done got on my nerves. I don't like the way that we do people. And I don't like, and let me be very clear. None of us are above in any moment, not caring about what somebody feel, what somebody going through, and saying whatever the hell was on our mind to say. I mean, ain't none of us above that. However, I notice that our humanity collectively is fractured in such a way, particularly in the Black community, the way that we handle each other. Now, I do know that all Black skin is not family because some people with Black skin, they have white souls and they're always supporting something that isn't great for our Blackness. However, in a situation like this, and I do understand how Tina Campbell voted, but in a situation like this, our humanity should call us to another action. And it's interesting to not see it, and it's egregious to see it so horribly handled among Black women. Sometimes I wonder, I ain't no woman, so I'm mansplaining. I wonder what is it that is between women that us as men have no clue about that make y'all seem like you can't stand each other? Not just biological women, but even trans women. It's like just the whole women community got this thing against each other. What the hell is that? We didn't pit y'all against each other. Why are y'all like that as relates to each other? I'm sitting here thinking and trying to see how we play a part in that, but I don't see how we play a part. And maybe because I am a man, but I don't see how we play a part in how you guys tear each other apart. I don't understand it. And I don't see where we contributed to that. However, I do see where the system maybe have played into that, and our plight as Black people playing a part into that. But is that all? Because it seemed like it's something else. What the hell is it? I do know women, and they can tell when a woman got a little this going on with her and she got a little that going on with her. And a lot of times as men, we don't see it. But this seems like something else that always tends to come up and replace the approach that we should have, or I think you guys should have as relates to each other. And maybe my manhood is keeping me from seeing something that's pretty obvious to another woman. I'm going to drop the link where you can come and tell me. But I don't understand why it's like this when it comes to something dealing with a woman in the public, a Black woman, and how other women show up. So I want to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about that in just a few minutes, but there are two things that I need to mention first. This entire morning, after having a series of very interesting dreams, then some stuff just hit my desk and it made me feel a certain kind of way. So I'm going to address these two things, 2 of the 25. I'm going to address those 2 things, and then I'll get into the conversation with Tina Campbell and divorce in general and how we are showing up and how I think we should show up as a community, and from the outside looking in, which may be inappropriate, how I think women should be handling it amongst each other. Now, that may be inappropriate, may not be my place, but I'm just going to do my part of the commentary from my standpoint. But I do know that I am not female. I'm not a woman. So I may have a block. Okay. So I'm going to get into that. But first, let me make a statement, and I need to make this statement. I saw someone post something online, and it was titled, "Stop Giving All Your Money to the Church." And it was posted by a Black female who in church would be a minister, would be an elder, would be a prophet, would be a pastor even. And in some instances, maybe even a bishop. But they're no longer doing that. They're doing ministry in a different way, but it's not the traditional way. And they posted, "Stop giving all your money to the church." I want to make a statement about that. Number one, nobody gives all their money to the church. Can y'all put that in the chat? Nobody gives all their money to the church. And it irritates me when I hear people make this statement. Erykah Badu just made a statement saying the Black community will have more money if they stop giving the 10% tithe to the church and invested it. There's another ridiculous statement. First of all, everybody ain't tithing. A small percentage of every church spiritual community is actually tithing. That's number one. And tithing is older than the church. Tithing is older than the three major Abrahamic religions. Tithing is a practice of the original civilization who understood how to exchange with nature and in nature and within this realm and the other realm. It concerns me when I hear Black people that are in leadership, leading Blacks, no matter how big of a platform they have, or no matter how small, make these statements that originate with whiteness, but then claim they're deconstructing, but then they're speaking like the oppressor, because the biggest Black business in the earth is the church. So it irritates me to no end when I hear Black people with white folk talking points. Ain't that what we just talked about with Philip Anthony Mitchell? This is why you need a teacher, somebody you can trust, a personal prophet that you can sit with more than 4 years, 5 years, and really get their consciousness from which they teach. See, that may not be what y'all realize supposed to happen. When you choose someone to coach you, choose someone as a personal prophet, choose someone as a leader, you are trying to catch their spirit, their lens. You should see this person as having something that you want to acquiesce to, something that you can learn from them, getting their mind when it comes to peopling, when it comes to money, when it comes to business, when it comes to systems and structure. That is who you're supposed to choose, and that person you should trust. You shouldn't have to look over your shoulder. I'm not telling you don't think, don't critique, don't be critical. But you absolutely need to find somebody that can help you and is farther along in what you want to do. So you ain't out here making stupid statements and posts like this. It's clear that in what's the name? Erykah Badu. It's clear that Erykah Badu don't have no Black, conscious, futurist, spiritual, mystical person that is her coach. My objective, my desire and want is to be the coach, the person undergirding people who are in powerful positions like that, so that then they can speak in a way that helps the whole. But fracturing Black as a Black is horrendous and is a crime. And anyone that is doing that in Black skin needs to be marked. They need to be marked so that we know who we don't need to be listening to. Y'all ain't saying too much right there, but I'm going to say it for myself because this stuff has irritated me to no end. So the post said, stop giving all your money to the church. Now, this is someone who is posting this online, who is out of the church, and everything they are is the result of the foundation of the church. And posting online telling people to stop giving their money to the Black church while being Black and selling your spiritual services is not only insane to me, but it's hypocritical. And that's not deconstructing from the system. That's you desiring to create your own system and cause redistribution toward you while manipulatively disguising it as a statement of reform. No, I see you if nobody else see you. The reality is you didn't grow from the system. You rejected the system. See, there's a difference. When you grow in the system and you end up with the character traits of love, we're talking about in pure Christian systems, not in those other types. But when you're in a pure Christian system, just like a pure Islamic or Judaism system, you practice love, learn how to cohabitate, co-lead, co-labor. You know how to sit with a team, work with a team, and there's no need to be the star and to be the head because your heart has been reworked by the Christ principle, Christ consciousness. So the system has growth in it, but you're supposed to graduate the system. And when you graduate the system, then you begin to reject the aspects, and probably this happens along the way, of the system that aren't proper for all of humanity and are actually harmful. And what I see is a lot of people who say they're deconstructing and say now they're called to do spiritual services or create a spiritual community. They actually become another version of the system, and they just reposition themselves at the top of their own version of it. Don't give all your money to the church, which nobody does. It's a complete lie. It's manipulative word play. Don't give all your money to the church, but bring your money to me to fund my version of it. See, the reality is a person like that, they're not against the money, really. They are against where the money goes or where they think it goes, and they want it rerouted to them. There's a contradiction in discouraging people from supporting the Black church while building a platform that profits from the same spiritual hunger that people have. Oh, you're such a hypocrite. That's not deconstruction. That's replacement. That's what you want. Replacement dressed up as reform. You see, I see you. I see you. I see you in my sleep. That irritated me in such a way because I can't stand a Black face with white talking points. I can't. All right, that's the first thing that done irritated me. It's a Reid rant. Yes, it is. I got one more, then I'm gonna get to Tina Campbell, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about Erica Campbell too, because I seen that sit down with her and her husband. And what's the guy name that's a Black face with white talking points sometimes? Cannon. Nick Cannon. I don't know if he'd do that just to get clicks or like, I don't know, but some stuff he said is problematic. And that darn for real. And then the other rapper that's a Christian rapper. What's his name? Lecrae. And then the one that be trying to sound like the boy that Mali. He sound like Mali, but he ain't Mali. Travis Green. And just somebody else. Oh, it's like y'all just want to get on our nerves on the internet. We got all this other stuff going on, and y'all posting this foolishness. Oh, y'all just want to wear me so bad. Okay. My second rant is this, and then I'm gonna get to what's the name. This celebration of the opening of the Strait of Hormuz is dumb to me. So we're going to celebrate Donald Trump getting the Strait of Hormuz open like it already was before he decided to drop a bomb. Now, I don't claim to be the smartest person in the world, but my mind do think. And I find the celebration of this absolutely insane. And yes, this is a critique. It's a critique of the media headlines. It's a critique of the comment section under those headlines. Where is your brain? Won't nothing wrong with the Strait of Hormuz prior to the bombing. You caused the strait to be closed up by you in the middle of negotiations. Decide to bomb them again. You just bombed everything up June of last year, and you claim you got all of the possibilities of them using uranium to do their nuclear stuff. That's what you said. So you bomb them, make the strait close up, and now we're supposed to celebrate you because the strait is open. The devil is alive. You know what they used to say? That is absolutely crazy. And who's going to participate in that? Oh, this is a win, and the stock market goes up. He says this right before 9:30. Right before the stock market opens. I think I saw my notification was 8:56 a.m. Right in our face, this man is making announcements, many times of lies, making announcements to play with the stock market in our face. And ain't nobody seeing this. I hope you see it for several different reasons. Number one, because of deception playing in your face. Number two, so you can make money in the stock market while it's volatile, going up and down if you know how to do it. I don't understand that. And if these two things want enough to create a Reid rant, I almost opened my reading room on the main stage, but I do that in members only. Then I saw this Tina Campbell stuff. Hold on a minute. Can somebody verify this? There's conflicting report from Iranian leadership saying the strait isn't completely open. You see what I'm saying? This one, that Gemini distortion is like on and popping. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Now, I know they're stupid in every nation, but you got to be a certain kind of stupid. Well, let me say it like this. You got to be a certain kind of smart to be in America, to see the stupid and the propaganda and the deception that is through all of the entertainment and everything. This is why it's important for you to do work around your perception on the regular as an American citizen, because they're literally shooting lies to us every way possible and then drugging us through our food to keep our pineal gland calcified so we can't pick up sense and see. And this is crazy. Yeah, this is crazy meeting crazy. I'm calling forth the smarts because the stupids is running every darn thing. Oh my God. Okay. So let me go to the next thing. I'm about to talk about the Erica Campbell thing. Everybody take a moment, hit like. If you're watching on Facebook, hit like. I said Erica, I meant Tina. Well, I'm just going to talk about Erica a little bit too. I am going to talk a little piece. Do you have a clip of them at the table? Yeah, and we're going to put it in here and play it. That'll be the last thing we do on Erica, and then I'm going to go. I got stuff to do. Right, he always manipulates the stock market every single time, selling snake oil and people buying it. Yeah. I think the crowds, the masses buy it, and some investors buy it, especially those with FOMO, the fear of missing out. But I think that there's another type of investor that is actually say, okay, he lying, let me make money off this lie. You know, I think those are all the things that are happening at one time. All right, did you hit like? I saw some of you hit like. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
It's a series of clips. It's not one.
Where's it at?
The only one that's pulling up is from the Jackson.
Okay, pull that. We'll look at that one. And put it in the thing while I talk about Tina. Okay, so Tina Campbell. Are y'all ready? I know Tina Campbell voted for Donald Trump. And that's a combo that needs to be had, a serious combo. Because she's a leading Black woman. But this ain't the time for that conversation when she is publicly being embarrassed by her husband again. The first time we all saw it on WE TV, he was fucking basically the whole marriage. And she lost it. You can tell Tina's very raw with her feelings, raw with her emotions. Even when she wrong, she at least raw. There ain't no two faces. It's just how it is. He cheated on her in front of the whole world. Now he divorced her in front of the whole world. And I think we forget to be human in moments like this versus trying to get our lick back and say, I told you how that is. Them folk, they be acting like they're perfect and they ain't. I got it. But this ain't the time for that. You're becoming what you viewed her as because she was on the side of the oppressor. Now you're acting like the oppressor. We can have that conversation later. But right now, it's the time to be human. Two things can be true at the same time. I disagree with your politics, and I have compassion for your pain. If your first instinct is to attack a woman in pain because of how she voted or because of what she did to you or said about you, that says more about your humanity than her politics. What I think people, they don't want in situations like this, they don't want to pay attention to what is just. Because what is just, we're talking about Jesus, when we're talking about just and justice. We're talking about Jesus, black cornrow Jesus, nappy hat Jesus, not that other one, the real Jesus. When we say justice, we're talking about injustices, we're talking Jesus language. I think we, in situations like this, we don't want to look at what's just and what's unjust. We just want emotional revenge on the person that caused us pain by their stance, by their vote. And that speaks to our humanity more so than her politics. Social media has trained people to perform empathy, not practice it, because if she said her husband died, the internet will be filled with, oh my God, oh, we feel, oh, it's just so terrible. Oh, better yet, if she died, oh my God, I love her singing. But because she has went through a divorce and you automatically think about her vote, all your empathy just goes somewhere else. Either you're empathetic innately or you're empathetic by practice or not, or neither. So you're not really responding to her situation. You're responding to your unresolved anger. And that is harmful right now. Now, if you ain't never been through no divorce, don't say shat to me. I've been through divorce. It is the absolute worst experience, one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my entire life. And so if you haven't had a divorce, be careful when you're covering this. Be careful and mindful in your commentary because you don't understand the pain. I do. That's why I can put to the side how she voted. Ain't gonna forget it, we're gonna talk about it. But your humanity, it just pulls at my empathy because nobody with a heart wants anybody to go through divorce. Divorce is like a death that you can't stop dying. It just goes on and long after the divorce is complete. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a humanity problem, particularly on social media. There's no, we holding her accountable. There's a difference between accountability and cruelty. A lot of y'all are choosing cruelty and calling it accountability. No, she said, what that got to do with this divorce? Pain is not the time for punishment. Pain is the time for presence. Be present with me in this. Sit with me in this. See, being cheated on is one thing, but being cheated on publicly, that's not heartbreak, you guys. That's humiliation. Infidelity is one thing, but public infidelity is layered trauma, layers of embarrassment. Looking in the mirror, I can imagine she had to do work on looking at herself and liking herself again and believing that she can be liked because his action said, you're ugly. His action said, you're not enough. His action said, your puss ain't good. His action said, you're fat. I got sisters, I got daughters. That is serious. Serious. Divorce is a death. Now imagine grieving while the whole world is watching and talking. And I love that she let us see her go through it. You may go watch the old episodes. They aired it on We. Black women are expected to be strong even when things are wrong, and never allowed to be soft when it matters most. A Black woman screaming and crying is her being soft. A Black woman reacting to what she has felt and what was said to her is a Black woman being soft. We want the Black woman to be hard because that is the silence that makes us feel comfortable. But when she's soft and vulnerable and she's talking and speaking and emoting and expressing, now we're uncomfortable, you see. And we weaponize those emotions against them. Celebrate Black women's strength until they need compassion and an outlet. Then we weaponize it against them or monetize it against them. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Married to Medicine, reading things my way. That was my show. Come on, let's tell the truth, what we do. Love a Black woman, a strong Black woman, until she show up hurting. Then we're going to say, why she so loud? Why she said it like that? Well, she ain't had to be like, well, what did she do? Was she not taking care of her husband? What is it? All of that. And then it comes out of Black women. And I didn't ask to wake up to this, but y'all got on my darn nerves. Y'all know I used to have 5. I ain't got but 2 now. So if you keep doing too much raggedy, over again, them 2 nerves turn to 1. They're going to judge me because I'm saying, fuck you. But you wore that other one out. So whatever you get, you deserve. Oh, I think I'm done. But let me show you something. Hold on before you go. Let's look at 3 clips from her sister, Erica Campbell. 4 clips. Her sister, Erica Campbell, and her husband, and they just announced that they will be renewing their vow. Great. I think that's amazing. Some of you mad with her, say, oh my gosh, she picked the wrong time. What the hell does Tina's divorce and what she's going through got to do with Erica? That ain't got nothing to do with Erica. I don't think Erica should be dragged because she's celebrating her cheating husband. Well, she said he cheated. I'm just saying. She's celebrating. We love Warren and his ability. Ooh, only if I could have him one day in the studio. But she's celebrating her former cheating husband while Tina is getting divorced from her former cheating husband. 2 different outcomes, 2 different women. I don't think they should be lumped together. That was one of the issues they had with the Mary, the redhead Mary and then the dark hair Mary. You know, they're 2 separate people. Okay. Let's look at Erica and Warren. They're pastors. And I think they're actually Tina's pastor. And let's look at what they say. Are they in order already, Kendall? Yes. Okay. All right, let's look at them.
Now, pastors, listen to this. Pastors,
she got
listen
the
to this.
same one.
I want y'all to listen to this.
Okay.
This was the debate. Nick says
and you
that
the
agree Bible is nothing but like allegories.
Use allegorical tales.
Thank you. Look at her face.
It's not a historical book.
Yes, it is. You can go back and
if it's not a historical book, then how come when you go to
Jerusalem.
Yeah,
not even from a church, but the
You been
we were there with
Israel?
the board of tourism.
Yeah.
The board of tourism
Ooh, talk about
shows this is where he died.
Boom.
This is the grave.
I am
Boom.
never
This is-
debating that.
That is
I
not
know
his
where
debate.
I know where the holy land is. What I was debating
the Jordan River.
is as we
The
all
Wailing
know,
Wall.
the Council of Nicaea.
Here we go.
And all of these things, and I was teaching my sister in Christ about all of these things like Constantine and all of these
Basil,
books, and yes, and what
Gregory of Nazianzus.
right and even so much so that even when it got
Okay, let's keep listening.
they took scripture out and created a slave Bible. So I was saying in the sense of like the true word is how God dealt with man and is inspired by God. But the actual book that we now see as the King James version or whatever version you have is not a historical book. Now they've gathered all of these tales from even like the, tales of Gilgamesh and that which ultimately becomes, Noah's Ark and all of those things aren't the actual tales that we follow in this Americanized society.
Question.
Get him,
Yes,
get him
ma'am.
now.
Yes,
Get
ma'am.
him.
So
Get
you
him
believe
now.
in God, right?
100%.
You believe you'll stand before him.
100%.
When you stand before him, are you gonna say, "I couldn't follow you because the book confused"?
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
talk about it.
No, I'm going to say I fall at your feet and I have been redeemed.
Amen.
And saved because I know I cannot be the perfection that you are.
Well, listen,
John 3:16 says.
hold on. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
You got Julius Caesar.
Okay, let's go,
let's
Pastor.
go.
Then Alexander the Great. People
Let's
like
go.
that, right?
I know where you're going.
So you read things about them, right?
Right.
And most people believe what they read about them. But
that's
now
true.
those things
Right.
that were written about those two individuals in particular was canonized
about
about
canonized.
300 years after they were gone.
Right.
The Bible is canonized
Yes.
and put together. No more between different theologians' arguments, no more than 70 years after Jesus was gone, which means when they were reading it, they're reading things that they saw. They're going like, and nobody's going, nah, I was there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you read Luke, there's certain parts in Luke, he says, this happened. Oh, and y'all was there, you saw it.
You said, yeah, right.
And so when you think about it like that, you go like, we believe all this other stuff.
We believe everything else we read.
They was written 300 years. So those are real stories. So my thing is this. You got you were right about when they took the scriptures out,
Right.
that the told
Okay.
free.
Right. They took all
And
of
then
the
you got
freedom
other people that
passages
say,
out.
oh, Christianity is a white man's religion because of that.
Right.
But if you really read the whole Bible, you're going to have to go through the whole thing real with a fine-tooth comb to even find a white person.
Right.
Facts.
That's all.
That's what I got in trouble for. So we're going to chill out because they cancel me. When I start talking about
Yeah, I need
Shem
my
and
job.
them.
I need my job. Gonna go there.
But they can't cancel me.
Tatted on me.
Cancel me.
They can cancel me.
God ain't gonna cancel me.
Yeah, just come on.
Listen,
man.
he
You right
called
about
me.
God.
Come on.
Amen.
He
You
called
right
me
about
and he
that.
didn't
now.
ask him, are you okay with me calling Erica? He just called me.
You know,
Yeah, you can't cancel who he called.
Yeah.
Can't cancel who is chosen.
That's why I don't let
people.
people elevate you. They'll take you down. But if God bring you up,
We just getting started. We ain't even dealt the card yet.
We ain't even done
First off, I would like to say I think this is great that they are having a conversation and everybody's listening to each other and respecting each other. The conversation that they're having, though, for me, is inside of the church brain, meaning that the lens that they're using, what they believe, is pretty much what has been accepted for several different years. However, my beliefs are different, but I don't need to project my beliefs to talk about what they're talking about. So, first of all, I want to say that Erica Campbell could get it any time of the day. And I say that respectfully, Warren, your wife is fine. And she got that it that scratches my itch in my mind. Sometimes it moves down to my crotch, but she got that thing. Any man that was raised in church, that loved gospel music, well, any man that is at least straight or bi or pan, meaning he has some aspect of himself to where he likes women, is going to like Erica Campbell. If that man is same gender loving, he gonna like the Clark sisters, and Dorinda gonna be his favorite. But anyway, that was shady. But that's number one. I respect Erica Campbell. She is, in my opinion, exactly who her mom raised her to be. And Erica holds herself accountable and to a very high standard. And those standards come out of the old church. Believe it or not, she's very old school, wears tight clothes, will have her titties out. Her chest meat out, will have her thigh meat out, will sing a song that ain't got nothing to do with Jesus, will sing a song that is very secular-ish, will attend secular-ish stuff, but when it comes to it, she is an old school church lady, just like her mama. Now, I watched the show with Lisa, so I ain't had no choice but to watch it. So I'm gathering all of that from what I see and also from what I sense. So I respect that. And I also respect that although she's very old school, she's got enough clarity to know that it's not a good thing for her to support this administration. And she didn't. She was actually one of the faces that supported Kamala Harris campaign. So we know how she voted. However, she's still a church girl. And it comes across because she's talking about standing before God. God is referenced in a very kingly, lofty, and also magical way, which is how it was put into Western Christianity. Warren said, people say that this is a white man's religion, but if you go into the Bible, you can have a problem finding a white man. Well, that's true, but you sort of didn't address what Nick was saying. In this conversation, for me, Nick Cannon was the one who was closer to something that is similar to what I believe. Because we do know a lot of the Bible was based on stories older than it. A lot of it is allegory. A whole lot of it is just tales from other religions and just put in there. However, there are parts of the Bible that are historical and actually can be proven through science and other books. So for Erica to say as a proof that it's historical is Israel, that almost made me like a little bit less. I'm like, baby, I thought you were smart. Israel is an invention of white folk. Israel is a present day problem. You don't bit more know if any of those places Jesus walked, wept, cried, ate, or shat. You don't know. This is the sign they put up there and made it look aged and old. You really don't know. And if you start really looking into some things, and I'm not going to do that now, some stuff don't line up with the text that you're showing us in Israel. So that wasn't a good comeback, because that's made up well after the book was already written. That was created to make the book's narrative be something that could be pointed to in the present day, not the other way around. So Israel biblically is a person and his descendants. It a people. It's not a place. It just is not. And when you marry that to New Testament theology, we all his people now. Jew and Gentile, ain't what y'all said? So there's no different. No male, no female, no Greek, no Jew, all of that. That's what you said. So the Bible is in part historical. It's mostly, in part historical, in part prophetic. Everything else borrowed, retold story, and that is still our sacred book for those of us that practice Christianity. Some of us use the King James Version. I like to use the older version, about 800 years prior to that. That's more complete. That's the Ethiopian Coptic Bible. But both books, listen to me very clear, should not be read and taken literally. This is still a religion that was created by a human, and religion is man's attempt to understand, exchange with, and speak to God. It's an attempt. And at its origin is pure. But then when you begin to organize spirit using structures that are actually for the advancement of certain people and certain groups, and that's where we get into the problem with religion. But religion can be practiced pure. But the Christianity we have now is European in the West, and it's not African. Christianity in Ethiopia is the original version, meaning it's first state. Because you got to remember, the apostles' ministry was in North Africa, rejected by the white skin. Then it became institutionalized in Ethiopia by way of Frumentius. I'm probably saying his name wrong because y'all know how my tongue is, who taught to King King Ezana in Ethiopia, that had him, after he converted him, because this goes all the way back to the conversion of the Ethiopian eunuch. It's in your Bible. It wasn't Christianity the way that it is today, but your Bible gives you that historical fact. It was the Ethiopian eunuch that was converted, that mystical experience. And then it was then another black man who grabbed Jesus's cross. So there are implications in the whitewashed King James Version of the Bible that point to the truth that Christianity, as far as it first been established, was African. Christianity, as far as an institution, began African. That's just history. It's just the truth. It had mysticism, astrology, numerology, and all that in it. Dancing, speaking in tongues, going in trance is prophecy. That is the original practice of Christianity in Africa. 800 years before your King James Version of the Bible, and a long time before it even got in Ethiopia, that can later on come back and try to colonize Africa and then come over here to America. What I'm telling you ain't what somebody told me, it's what I studied, and it's the truth. So, Erica, Campbell, and Warren, great idea to have red cups, playing cards, talking about religion. I think it's excellent. I think it was that Nick's idea. I think it's an amazing idea. I think we can follow these conversations, and then we can create conversations from those conversations. Hopefully, Nick will hear about Larry Reid Live and call me to the table, and I can help him get blacker, because he be saying some stuff that I can't. So you may be one or two people away from somebody with a platform of influence. Get educated, get all the information you need to get about Black Christianity, Christ, and all of that kind of stuff, and be able to recall it off the back. Well, I mean, on the whim, off the cuff, what I meant. And shoot that information. You need to be able to do that. And we need you to do it everywhere you go, so we can get our Black mind back, because it's off. Oh, it's the 17th of April. This is my ask. If you enjoyed the platform, $7.77 or $17.77. If you enjoyed it, there's a link that's going to show up in the chat. And I'm going to drop a link to hear what some of you got to say if you got time. The link show up in the chat, or just do Zelle. You can do Zelle by just sending it to donations@mbnnetworkglobal.org. I saw, what you saying? Zelle is donations@mbnnetworkglobal.org. And there's a link that is in the chat. Somebody said, Dr. Reid, I want to know what your Cash App is. You can do that other link that says Taruma, or do the Zelle, I am Larry D. Reid @gmail.com. If you absolutely can only do it as a Cash App, that's $ Larry Reid, REID. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this link. That's $7.77 or $17.77. When you do it, put it in the chat so I can recognize you and tell you thank you. Thank you, T Lux, for becoming a new member. And I'm coming over there to have that conversation about the live I've done about the 5 layers or kinds of friendship. So many of you I heard from telling me that you are clear, you forgave people because you made people friend. You collapsed all of the levels into one word, friend. And you realize that you holding grudges against people that you shouldn't. They were proximity, work, or situational friends. They were engagement friends. They were assignment friends. They were covenant friends. We discussed it. I want you to go back and look at that. Okay, Larry Live, I will try to spare her because she has so much testosterone against the LGBTQ plus community, like Campbell and rest of them. See, Campbell missed her opportunity on the Ellen DeGeneres show, running her mouth with a lot of testosterone, holy whiteness. I agree fully with what you're saying, fully. But we have to look as a community, especially those of us that are men, because it looked like it's a problem for some of the women, and say, okay, let's put that on hold. We're going to discuss that because we need to. But this over here, you have just been humiliated for the second time by the same man in front of the whole world. Okay, we're going to sit with you in that. We're going to wipe your tears. We're going to comb your hair. But then after this, a little piece of time, then we want to have a conversation with you about this other stuff. Where are you now on this? We know what you voted. We know what you said about the LBGT. I heard TS call it the Labiquita community. I heard what you said about that. You know, let's discuss those things separate from this pain, though, because we ain't about to do that. We ain't about to do that to you. We can't do it as a community, y'all. Pastor Larry, when economics overrides our culture, those are the mindsets of people like Nick. Some think their economic status hides them from the plight of the masses like us. Not that I agree. Okay, I want to make a statement about people who say when Black people get rich, they begin to talk like white people. Let me tell you how that happens. That happens, first of all, let me say something before I say that. There are so many Black men walking around here that want to be white men. That's number one. Black women, you need to recognize that. Another thing Black women need to recognize, there's a lot of men walking around here that enjoy sex with other men, but they are not gay. Do not believe two things: that a straight man who hates gay people does not enjoy sex or has not thought about it deeply with the same sex, and do not believe that just because that man had sex with the same sex, it means that he is gay. Gay sex will never make somebody gay. I repeat, gay sex will never make somebody gay. It is an impossibility. Just like a straight person having sex with the same sex, come on women, because many of y'all have done that, will never make you not like peen. You like peen. You also enjoy her tongue or maybe her strap on, but you like peen. Not just that you like peen, but you actually enjoy and you connect deeper emotionally with the man. You straight or maybe bi. and you just in this female relationship because it's meeting your needs right now. I know lesbian couples where one is a lesbian and the other one is bi. One is gay and the other one is not. So we got to learn that as a community, because I think we don't understand that. What the hell? I don't know how I got on that. I hope I answered the question. Oh my God. Larry, good afternoon. Larry. Oh, let me drop the link because some of you may want to. Did I finish my other statement? I got caught up with that. Okay, good afternoon, Larry. Do you think that Erica Campbell's Tina's sister should be pushing her wedding renewal in light of her siblings' divorce? Absolutely. Celebrate her wedding renewal. They are two people. We can't keep seeing these two sisters as one unit and holding one or the other hostage to the other one's life story and happenings. It's Mary, the gospel group, but that's Tina Campbell and Erica Campbell. And Erica should be celebrating her relationship. I do think Christian women lose their sense of common sense when in relationships. Let me say this. We also got to remember that Tina Campbell is a church girl. I remember seeing so many pastor wives cheated on, make up their mind to leave, and then every other first lady and other bishops call her to tell her the Bible scriptures on how they shouldn't divorce, and she stayed. I think Tina stayed because of her religious spirituality. 100%. She should have left him then. But because the structure of the church. So it's not that black women are stupid. It's that black women in the church are subject to programming to snatch their brilliance and bring it under bondage. That is a strategy. It is a must to make the church work, because if you empower a black woman, she's going to see the church for what it is and take her money and her talents elsewhere. So the church has to snatch their brilliance and thinking capacity, bring them under bondage, and they do it by way of religious spirituality, because women are naturally more spiritual than us. They get attracted to the spiritual, and they infect that spirituality with the religion and the dogma and bring her subject. That's a strategy. Happens all the time. So we got to remember that Tina is subject to that, or was subject to that programming. Okay, let's see here. Hey there, Crystal.
Hey there. Hey there. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. I was going to say, just based on what you just said, wait a minute. I am behind something. Am I supposed to turn something off? I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, I can hear you. It's probably my end. Hand me my headphone. Let me fix it for you right quick.
Okay, gotcha. I think that's what, yep, because I'm not hearing it anymore. Yep.
Oh, hold on. Where the other piece of this? Oh, you're not hearing it no more?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you just said, now I'm hearing it. Whatever you just did, I'm hearing it. Anyway, if it's not bothering you.
Where the other piece of this? Oh, hold on. Let me fix it. I think it's that it's too loud. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
All right, should be gone now.
Okay, got it. So what you just said, you answered my question, because I was getting ready to say, I always have compassion for people going through a divorce, especially a woman with children, a man with children. But we watched that show. That show was over 10 years old, right? And we watched him say, he didn't say many women, he said countless. That's an entirely different level, right?
Yes.
And apparently he has continued to do so. I understand the religious part, but what you said was what probably kept her there was her religious spirituality.
Absolutely.
But yeah, because I was going to say at one point, we as women, and this is not going to be popular, but I believe it with my soul, we have to take some of the onus and responsibility for ourselves. for our own self-worth. When are we tired of the humility? When are we humiliation? When are we tired of the abuse and the embarrassment? And so she stayed too long. It's not a judgment, it's just a fact, right? So then that connects also to what you said which is the strategy of the church is to keep a woman in her place and, held down. That also, and then it connects to Black women towards one another, in my opinion. It starts with our inner trauma from our beginning, our generation, everything we came from. We were the lowest thing. We were the ones. And even when we first came out of slavery, our men didn't know anything but abuse and to take advantage. And so it's almost I know it's long, I know it's an old thing, but it's really not old. We really have a lot of work to do in ourselves. So when we see something sometime in another Black woman, we may actually admire it, but it makes us envious and even turns into anger. And so that can cause us to lash out too. You know what I mean? But it all starts from something that is not healed and whole in us towards one another. And then the competitive part comes. That's what I think. I think it's the competitive part of it. All of that can be both and, right? It could be envy. It could also be we just don't like each other. And it's okay not to like somebody. It's just, it's not okay to not be human about it.
Absolutely. And you educated me.
Say it again.
You just educated me.
Oh, okay.
Because I was asking, what is it? What is that thing between women? And you educated me. You said there's something that you said I didn't think of. You said that you can actually see something that you like, and then it shows up as envy or competition with that thing. Got it. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you. All righty.
All right. Steph.
Hey, how are you? Blessings to you, Dr. Reid.
I'm doing okay. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Awesome. Wait, why?
That MFT, these are thinking Black woman.
You already know. So, right. I am a marriage and family therapist, right? And I just want to piggyback even off of what the mother was saying before. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I got into the profession because I saw how much harm was happening inside the church. And so much harm has happened because we do tell women to stay no matter what. We demand, we are demanded to be self-sacrificing and no matter what. And, people, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? And just stay and stay and stay. And that harm, we see this harm in real time now. We see this harm in real time now with Tina, who should have been gone from this situation. Nobody's in this situation, but from what we're seeing, she should have been gone from the situation. And it is all about that trauma. You internalize it, you take it in, and you say, I can endure, I can take it, I can take it. And we don't know what her community looks like. I know we saw on TV and things like that. She really needs her community around her. And I appreciate what you were saying about, okay, if she voted for Donald Trump, handle that later. And we take the wrong times to point things out. You do not kick someone while they are down. When everything is passed, then we can talk about that later on. She needs help.
No, it's us. Okay, we back. Okay, so I heard what you said.
Yeah, this is not the time to talk about anything else but healing her, helping her, and making sure she's all set. That's where our energy needs to be directed. And because we don't do that, I started really thinking about that Ubuntu, like, okay, like we've forgotten that way. We have forgotten how to do that. We need to come together in that moment. So that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to agree big time. The church has caused that harm. I see it with many clients. I'm like, oh, why are you deciding to stay? Well, this is what my leader told me to do. My so-and-so told me to do. And that causes a lot of harm. And we don't need to kick her while she's down. She needs our assistance. She needs our help. She needs our prayers, our good thoughts, our good energy. And then we can handle everything else later.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Steph. And let me say to you. While you was talking, I kept seeing this woman behind you. You have a deep connection to the matriarchs in your bloodline who were practicing different types and kinds of spiritual practices that can free the mind of other women. So you're going to begin to find yourself moving deeper into those things that are very African, those things that are very spiritual, those things that are very enlightening, because it's your calling and it's your work. And you're going to have to create something to where you can assist people, where they can book you for spiritual services. I know you ain't calling in for no prophecy, but if it hit me, I tell it.
I'm with it. I'm with all of it. And I want to say this. I transitioned to South Africa 2 years ago. And that's what I'm saying. You're spot on, like prophet to prophet. Let's be real honest. As soon as my feet hit the soil, all of the matriarchs were like almost like we were waiting for you. Like we were waiting for you. And in every generation, there is a woman who is like that. My aunt, my two aunts ago, my great aunt read chicken bones. People used to come to her. She read tea leaves and for the healing. My aunt right above me, my mother's sister, she does that. She's all tapped in. I'm the one in my generation. So you're spot on. I receive it. I'm taking it in and I appreciate it. I'm with it.
God bless you. Bye.
God bless you.
That MFT, I knew that was a thinking black woman. That's a thinking black woman. Oh my God. Let's see who else is in here. Okay. Aminche Deshay.
Hey, you said it almost right. Yeah, Misha Deshay. How you doing, Dr. Reid?
Good.
When you first started the live, you had asked, you said you had wondered what part did men play in the kind of like the relationship that women have with each other. And I'll be around Atlanta. Atlanta always got some type of networking event, women empowerment panels and stuff. We have a plethora of those, especially over brunch, and women get some mimosas in them, they start telling the truth. And one thing that I have learned and observed, not just on here, but I used to be on Clubhouse heavy and other places too. Women, especially when it comes to Tina Campbell, a lot of especially black women are blamed for divorces. Men always throwing it at us. Oh, black women are responsible for 80%. Statistics, 80% of divorces are from women, and women be the ones that's ready to walk away from relationships. And it's kind of a manipulation to keep us from saying, hey, we're responsible for broken homes and kids and things like that. And then I see men when men kind of let us in on conversations that they have, especially the quote unquote red pill men or the men that are most vocal. We don't have a lot of men like you out here that are, that are telling the truth and understanding both sides. But I hear a lot of men that'll say, oh, this woman is better than this woman because she's this and she's that. And they want us, it's like they want all the women to be a monolith. Like they want all of us to be the same. And so when men start to nitpick things and come up with these definitions, especially during the Kevin Samuels era, men will say certain things that get women looking at each other and comparing each other and sizing each other up to see, what makes her better than me, or what makes this person, more qualified than me. It's just so many things, so many societal demands on women that we try to compete. You say men say they want to be providers. Okay, but you don't want a woman that don't make no money. What she bringing to the table? It's just so many different things that they put on women. And for women who come up in the era, like I'm millennial, I'm 1987. So I grew up in church, the Pentecostal church, where they tell you serve the church until you find a husband, then you serve your husband. And if he beating you, if whatever he's doing, divorce is not an option, right? But then when we seen our parents go through the financial abuse and all the other stuff that we have experienced, we kind of like resent that You know what I'm saying? When we see other women being a certain way or male centered. So I think it needs to be a conversation among men about how they address, I tell them mind your preference. A lot of men talk about women that aren't their preference. They having these conversations that are pinning women against each other. And that's just, a little bit about, when you ask that question at the beginning.
You educated me. All right. I got something to work with. Women, when y'all educate me like that, I add it to my narrative and my point of view and it show up somewhere. So thank you. You educated me. Thank you so much, Amicha.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Wow. I got that. So I see the part we play with that. All right. Got it. Hey, Alicia. Alicia. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Let me look and see. Make sure you're not muted. No, you're not muted on my end. I can't hear you. I'm gonna keep you in the back and let me know when they get open. Naita. Oh, you look good. Oh, you lost some weight.
Yeah.
But it look good.
Okay. Thank you. I'm always worried because anyway, you know the story. So there are a lot of first of all, I want to say how are you? Are you well?
Okay.
Okay. I didn't ask you that before, but I wanted to make sure you're doing all right. Anyway, all of the ladies who have shared are spot on. And I'm being educated and reminded of a lot as well. But I think the other conversations that we have to have with women, with young women, nieces, little cousins and sisters is when to choose you. Because there were many times in Tina Campbell's case specifically that it was obvious she was not choosing herself.
Yep.
That she was choosing maybe her marriage or her children or her faith or religion. And when you do so in a way that is harmful to you, as you have taught it many years now, you are sinning. You are in sin. You are harming yourself. You are potentially harming your children. And you may not be cognizant of it at that time, but when you are made aware of it, I think you are especially off the mark when you don't choose you.
Jesus.
So it really is about when you choose you. 1, 2, and we're seeing this a lot in the headlines. Me being in Virginia with Mr. Fairfax and Dr. Fairfax and the femicide situation. And we're seeing a lot of femicide for whatever reason in the headlines. And all of the articles, all of the memorabilia flashback to when this could have started with alcoholism or false accusation or infidelity. And each time that's mentioned, I think she could have left then. She could have chosen herself then. She could have filed then. And it's not to blame the woman. It's to help me remember that's when you choose you. It is to shape and frame conversations that I want to have with my nieces. When I see a red flag, I can remind her then that's when you choose you, so that I don't have to remember another name to celebrate. I'm remembering Gina Scott, my friend that I grew up with, who was a victim of femicide. I'm remembering Makia, who's a victim of domestic violence. These are real friends with public stories, and we have to remember them in their victory, in the moments where they chose themselves, maybe eventually, maybe in victimhood. They get on, they get to transition in victory, but we have to remember them. I'm not knocking the men. That's not what I'm here to do. But I'm here to celebrate women. I'm here to celebrate us, and I'm here to hold us, call our names, and remind each of us to choose us. That it's okay to choose you.
I hear that.
Your kids will be better off for it. Your life will be better off. The relationship you have with God will be better off because you chose you. That's all. Thank you for letting me speak. Now I don't have to do this again.
But what you said was thick. I got it. It was a steak.
Yeah, I've been sitting with it since yesterday, really.
Yeah, that's an informational steak. And it as a man, that word choose you hits me because men don't choose themselves either.
Really? Okay.
No.
We might need to talk about that.
We do. Most men are in an identity crisis. And we don't even know ourselves enough to choose us. We define ourselves by what we can do, by the woman on our arm, our children, who we're providing for, our pedigree, our money, and even our car means a lot to us.
So perhaps the conversation for men, if the conversation for women is when to choose you, the conversation for men might be who to identify yourself with or what to identify yourself with.
Who are you separate from your roles, who you're saving, who you're providing for, and what you have.
So it needs to be a conversation around identity.
Yes, that's why I said that most men are in an identity crisis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow. Michael, did you sit right there and see how Naida showed me something about women, minister to women, and then I was able to tell her something about men. We need to have a lot of conversation where men and women are explaining our plight, because I think we do things to try to help theirs that we can't, and I think they do things to try to help ours and they can't. It's work that we have to do within ourselves and probably in our community as men before we can show up for them as a husband that won't cheat and send her through public divorces. You know, you were going to say something about what you saw as relates to how women in the church make other women stay with bad men.
So, well,
maybe not bad men, but men that are having little boy problems.
Can you see me?
Yes.
A phone call just messed me up. Naida just said so much, and then Crystal just said so much. But one thing she said was about choosing you. And I think that, well, I'm gonna share this. And I know my mom was very private, so I'm be very careful what I say, because she has Facebook now. So I know she's probably watching this. But about 30 years ago, we was going through some things with my father. And I think that the church made divorce like it was a disgrace back in the day. And anytime you heard about divorce, I don't care if the man was beating you up. I don't care if he cheated on you. You were supposed to stick with that man. And I remember when my mom was going through some stuff with my father, all the bishops like rallied around her. She was getting calls. The first ladies, stick with your husband. Don't do this, do that. And one thing that Naida said did not happen. Nobody told her to choose her.
Excuse me?
All there you did. But no leaders, no bishops, no first ladies told her to choose her.
Hold on for a minute, Kendall. Did you hear my best friend come on my show to say I'm not a leader, I'm not a bishop, and then those things, and put me in the category separate from them?
How you make this about you?
Because it's Larry Live show, and you my best friend, and I expect you to come up here and not just tell your story, but also advertise for the brand.
Larry, you was the only one. Do you want a cookie? Do you feel better? No, I'll make sure I send you a dozen cookies.
I'm just playing. I'm gonna try to trigger you up. It didn't work.
And it worked. I'm like, I forget what I'm gonna say.
Oh my God!
You was talking about
you said the Naida made a point
Erica,
when she said about choosing.
Yeah, but earlier you said something about Erica being traditional, and if she grew up in traditional church and that traditional type of era, it's like you don't. It's a mistake. It doesn't matter. You stand for the sake of the Christian church. what the church supposed to look like as a family. And I told Mom, I said, you know what? This is nothing against my dad. I had a great dad. He just had
He was a
some
victim of the
problems.
church.
Right. After their divorce, finally, we had a great relationship, but you don't know what it leaves the woman. What you said earlier is a lot. When a woman has been cheated on over and over and over again, it's just like being abused. It's just like you going home and getting hit in the face. It's just like a man beating you with his fists. It's just done emotionally. When it's over and said and done, you leave that woman wondering, who am I? What am I good for this? Am I good for that? Because there was no stability in relationship. And so not just that, but even as I been a counselor or spiritual advisor, I talk to people all the time, especially within NBN or just outside of and abroad. People have that type of mind. There's so many people that have gone through that. When my mom and dad are still together, oh, they really, but they're not staying in the same room. They're not sleeping together because my dad was this. But I said, but how does that work? My dad just going through this and was it pulled my mama through it. But my mama's this type of woman. You can always tell it's a certain type of woman. And that most of the time that woman is a virtuous, sweet, loving, kind, just God-fearing because she feared that divorce is gonna mess her up.
Yep.
And they're never told, as Naida said, to choose themselves. So I hope that everyone heard that. And I'm not telling anybody you just go get divorced, but there comes a time when you have got to choose yourself as a man and as a woman, because at the end of the day, you all you got.
Yes, thank you, Michael. That was great. Do you want to stay here?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You're gonna trigger me, make me sweat.
Good. All right, bye. Sandy.
Hey, Dr. Reid.
Hey there.
So I want to commend you for approaching this subject with so much grace and so much compassion. I agree with you that some of the remarks that I've seen in the comments that I've seen online are very disturbing. And I just remember when the Mary Mary reality show was on TV, how Tina's mental health was not the best.
Yes.
And I don't know how much help she's gotten since then. I hope that she has gotten some help. But I just remember her unraveling on TV. And it was so sad to watch. But I want to address something that you were saying about, I'm not sure if it was you or someone else was saying about, why Teddy probably chose to file for divorce now. I have been in this situation. I went through a divorce after 28 years of marriage, and I was Tina. I was determined to hold on to my marriage no matter what. I was hanging off the side of Dum Dum Mountain, trying to hang on to my marriage because I felt like that's what God wanted me to do. And I'm not sure what else a man can do outside of humiliating you on national TV by having multiple affairs to show you how much he hates your guts. I don't know what else a man can do. And so the primary injury in my marriage was infidelity on my ex-husband's part. And I still didn't want to let go. I still tried to hold on because I didn't understand that when you stay in a toxic soup of a marriage, there's nothing noble about that.
Nothing.
It's not even godly.
Jesus.
We fool ourselves into thinking that it's godly because we have attached our mind to the story that we have told ourselves about this marriage. But we are not really focused or understanding the real truth of the marriage. We are attached to the story. I was attached to the story of the marriage. But until you get to the place where you can tell yourself the truth to yourself about yourself, you're going to stay stuck. So I feel this deeply because I was Tina. I had to go to therapy. I had to work through unaddressed, unhealed childhood trauma having to do with abandonment issues. And the whole nine. I had to go to therapy for all of that. And I truly believe, because this is how my story ended up. I truly believe that when Tina gets to the other side of this, she is going to meet a version of herself that she has never seen before.
Absolutely.
And Teddy and the rest of us are going to see a version of Tina that we have never seen before, because it's going to be the version that sees herself for who she is. And I like what Naida said. She's going to choose herself. If she allows herself to let go of this marriage, if she gets the mental health counseling that she needs, she will then be strong enough to choose herself, because her babies need to see her choose herself.
Yeah,
Her
there's a lot of
family and her
children.
friends, yes, need to see her choose herself. Tina needs to see Tina choose herself. And when she gets to that point and she gets to the other side of all of this pain, she's going to look back and she's going to be able to say, nothing that I thought about my marriage was real. My marriage was made up in my mind because I couldn't deal with the reality of what it really was. Ask
Yeah.
me how I know.
It's been committed to that narrative that becomes the identity. I want to get to some of the rest of them saying that, but you have just preached.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for this show.
All right.
God bless you.
Make sure you do your $7.77 or $17.77. Then thank you ain't enough.
Okay, I will.
All right. Thank you. All right, $7.77, $17.77. I see some smart people in the back room. I'm about to bring them on. She said something that stood out to me, and somebody put it in there. I want you to look at this brand that I created with women in mind, but I don't have it. It's in the other one. I know it's not in here. No. Let's see if we can change it and do it. Uh-oh. You see what she wearing? That's a line that I created. My answer is no, and I choose me. Look. All right, go to ichooseme.store to get your t-shirt right now. And somebody send one to Tina. Can somebody send one to Tina? Just ship it to her. If you're watching, and I know a lot of executives watch, and she's your client, go to the site, ichooseme.store, buy it in her size, and then send it to her, because it is absolutely what she need to do right now. No, I choose me. Nickel Vanna Shannon.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. How are you, Dr. Larry?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to see what you got to say.
Okay. I'm going to try to bring my camera on. I'm wondering why. There I am.
Okay. Hey.
I'm going to be real brief. Okay. My heart really goes out to Tina, one, because many of us as women, we do stay for money reasons. We stay because we're told not to really guard our boundaries and to just kind of let things go according to the flow of the house, the flow of, who's in charge or who we feel is in charge, which would be our husbands. And so, and it leaves us unsafe. It leaves us unguarded, and we want to do what's best for our family or what we feel is best, and we tend to leave ourselves out. When we do that, we kind of leave ourselves outside. And so, my hope for her is that she, again, just like Naida said, that she chooses herself, just like Sandy said, that she will identify that she is important, and that no matter what has happened, she will be able to rebound from it. And for whatever reason why she stayed, if it was just because of societal norms or money, that she will actually, make a choice to say,
or pain.
Yeah.
Because she's a Christian woman. She don't want to be on the street.
We don't. We really don't. No, we don't. So I absolutely, really champion her to know that regardless of what it might look like and what it sounds like, that she will find herself and she will be that woman or that version of woman that will make her proud and
Choosing
make her
herself.
family proud.
I think that's the word. And I think that should be the seed. Your 777 or 1777 should be I choose me seed.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's it.
Yes.
Thank you
That's
so
it.
much, Nika Warner.
Thank you.
She got a good voice to make you just get interested. She needs to talk online more. All right. My therapist said my ex and I were looping. I need to break from this loop to deal with myself. He said I was mad at myself. I suddenly felt like a balloon and all the air went out. I was free. I love that. No, because the loop can be entertaining and it can actually be stimulating. It happens even in relationships that stay together. You know, you fight over the toilet paper, which literally means there's something else bigger that has been ignored. And then you have sex, you enjoy the makeup sex, you find yourself fighting for the makeup sex. You know, it just an endless loop. Then you go on a trip and then you go out to eat a couple of things, then eventually get back to the same thing, then you do the loop all over again. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get Pat. Hey there. Miss Pat. This is my Pat.
Hey,
In the
everyone.
community, Mother Pat.
Yeah. Larry, my heart goes out to her because I have been through a divorce. And when I went into the marriage, my concept about being in the church was this will be my marriage and my only marriage. And looking back, I see how the church have done a disservice to the people, not only to the people, but to the women. And we as a woman, once we lose our self-esteem, it's hard to come back up. And unless you are in a community like-minded, and that's helping you to go through that process. And so I was married for 15 years to somebody, we both ministers, ordained in the church. But yet, and men get jealous of us and women get jealous of the man. But I saw the jealousy of me and I couldn't understand it. Why jealousy? We both had the anointing, we both moving and working within the church. But when, the individual sees something more in you that you don't see in yourself and get jealous, and then that created the problem within the marriage. But I thank God that I built up enough courage to walk away. I walked away, and I'm telling you, it hurts. It hurts. And you have to try to pick yourself back up because always in the back of your mind is wondering, what did I do that he didn't want me? So even with Erica, to stay in that marriage, and he continually, Tina, to stay in that marriage and for him to continue to beat down her self-esteem, it was hard for her to leave.
Absolutely. And we got to also pay attention to the programming that is in church culture. And I know one of the things that I didn't get married to get divorced. I think she said that during the show. I get it. I absolutely get it. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Pat, for your wisdom.
Yeah, I said that, but I thank God that I walked away and I worked on myself, but then got remarried again. And after 6 weeks, he died. But the freedom that I have today of knowing who I am, I chose myself and still choosing myself. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Pat.
All right, bye.
Yeah, that was great. Let me tell you, this is an amazing show. Amazing contribution from many Black women. God bless y'all. I learned from you. I hope someone learned from me. And we probably need to have that conversation that Naida mentioned on the main platform, because I think we do have a little gap between men and women and understanding each other. I don't care if that woman is a lesbian, if she's same gender loving, she's a woman. I don't care if that man is homosexual and same gender loving, he's a man. And I think we need to understand each other as much as possible. And we only can do that in open round table type kitchen table conversations. This is why I like that I saw with Nick Cannon and Erica Campbell and her husband, the other young lady. All right, you guys, it was great. It was very good, but don't use me. Before you leave here, make sure you celebrate that you're enjoying this. And I do the Larry Live show, and of course I'm hired by the NBN Network Global, and part of the hiring, what comes with me is my influence. And so the Larry Live show, what you donate goes to the MBN Network Global. So we're doing it as a seed now. We started out with a donation, but a seed. Today's 4/17/2026. So we're doing $17.77, or if you can't do that, $7.77. And these are the ways that you're able to do it. Zelle, or from hitting the link that is in the chat. It's pinned on YouTube, on Facebook. Just wait a few minutes. Somebody's going to put it inside of the chat. You're going to see it. You can click it, and then you can go and process your donation. Thank you so much. And make sure when you do your seed, you're not just giving your money away, but you're going to do your seed and then make a posture shift and a role shift, a consciousness shift, that you are going to put you first. And then everything, even those children you love to death, that husband, that spouse, that lover that you love to death, you're going to put everybody second. So don't betray your seed, because there's no longer a seed then. You just gave away $17.77. I mean, that's great and nice, but I want you to practice the seed. The seed goes in, goes through time, and then there's a harvest. So you put the seed in, the fertilizer is your action. So your posture now shifts to choosing you. And then what's going to happen is the spirit world, universe, quantum field, however you believe, sees that vibration by way of your choice and behavior. It sends a signal, and it's going to magnetically draw opportunities over and over and over that are aligned with your new stance, your seed, that I'm choosing me. All right. God bless you. Wooly, beloved, this away. I say, take care of yourself. Goodbye.